goes in front of the president.
You're getting fined.
I'm getting fined. Okay.
You miss the meeting, you get a $25 fine.
Do I?
Goes here. No, I'm not talking.
I hope it's used to repair the roads.
Not $25. I do have one there for you. For next time. There you go. Oh, he gets a star because he brought his back. Oh, there goes Brian.
Actually, the wife made us both folders up and put everything in
One
it.
of those. Pass them down there.
What are they? Those in from last time?
It's the same thing we had last time. I added a couple things, but I had the check marks on them.
Okay.
The check marks are the ones that we had talked about last time. And please, if you have any questions about them all, I'm just trying to,
So you told me had a work session, I missed it.
that's why I said you owe me $25 last week.
Somebody needs to put me on Friends for the
Speed up.
Borough. I just told Jan, I said, how come I can't get on the Borough thing? She said, you're not Friends on there yet. I don't know nothing about
I don't either,
Facebook.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't have Facebook or
Do you
anything like
want me
that.
to call and remind you?
Well, she's setting that up, and yeah, it would be nice if you could. Yeah, I'm like, walking in, the mayor said that too, she goes,
Excuse
nothing
me.
about
Didn't know anything about
it.
it.
I don't know.
No, he said it was okay for that
Yeah.
monthly meeting.
Yeah.
Where were you?
But we didn't set a date, did we?
Hmm?
We didn't set a
No,
date.
you said next Wednesday.
No.
It'll be every Wednesday unless he, doesn't want to, I guess, or we'll have to do it without him, or whatever, but we don't wanna do it without anybody.
Well, I found that website that can get municipalities cheap equipment and stuff.
Good one.
I just need somebody that knows how to do that. It's General Services, it's called. But I don't know how to do computers and stuff. So we'll get into that, but
General services for what?
municipalities that have excess equipment and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, you did say about that before.
Now, I don't know if I've seen on there for like fire departments and stuff, so we'll have to find out for sure if we're even qualified for it, but it's something to look into.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it existed, but I wasn't sure what the name of it was, so.
Well, there's also a site too, you can go on it. But there's used equipment for sale from, wasn't General Services, what it was. Oh, and they have those Machine Valley COG meetings too. There's usually some municipality that has something they wanna sell. Oh, shoot, I forgot the newspaper.
Spend this time, man.
Nah.
See Sean here somewhere.
Is Dawn still at home?
No, she's going back and forth.
Okay. You don't get the newspaper, do you? Probably.
There wasn't any advertisement for this meeting. It just said that the meeting is not 7, but it's 7:30. But it didn't say when.
It's,
It's in twice. It's in 16 and 17.
He said sign and email.
We definitely we're out of here making a move.
But these are-
7:30.
I say, it's hard to believe I beat them, but I guess they beat me. What's the matter with me? I can't see, huh? Who in the hell is Kephart?
Kephart,
Yeah, who's he?
good guy. He got almost
No
5,000
kidding, I know that.
5,000
You
votes.
don't have to tell me, but now who is he? Yeah,
He is an attorney
he is.
that worked himself through school in the coal fields. And he's a wonderful guy. I spent an hour with him in my office
Where
when
does
he
he
first.
have office? Where does he have his office?
I'm not sure. I think Phillipsburg. But,
Jeez, I didn't even recognize that name.
oh yeah, he's super individual.
He has to
I
be if
told
that many people voted for him.
I told John Sobel I wasn't voting for him because he stuck me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Either I don't know about it or I didn't pay any attention. What do you mean?
Wasn't me.
What do you mean?
They are not paying $37.50.
Oh.
And the attorney sent a letter to me. It cost $45. So go think about it.
Anyways?
No, it has to be laying in there.
Here, I thought I beat you.
Hey, you're in there yakking.
And I did. Well, it was a nice gentleman that stopped to talk to me. Say, did you have a nice gentleman stop to talk to you? No, but I did. Guess we're not rubbing into it.
You might have to use that cane if you rub it in too
Yeah,
hard.
thanks, Andy. There we go. Did I call you Andy or Marty?
Andy this time.
Okay.
Marty next time.
I get you two guys
Half
mixed
the
up.
town still calls me Marty.
Well, Marty worked for me, you know, up there for us.
See, I was around first, I'm older
I
than him.
know.
That's your stuff. I knew I had one with their name on it. Let me see if that's the same. If they're the same, you can have that one that has last week's. Yeah,
I can't find, I had a whole list of telephone numbers. You know who I'm looking for? Dog catcher.
I have it here.
Okay, because I can't remember her last,
She does not
Oh,
like to be
man.
called that.
what she wanted to be
She
called.
wants to be called
Dog enforcer.
Animal control.
animal control or
Animal
animal or something like that.
Oh, is that what you, well, I'll call her that the next time, as long as she gives me service.
Mhm.
And
What?
she'll let you know she does not do cats.
I know, she's done do cats, turkeys, and chickens.
So she gave me the names of those people.
Good.
Hey, who did my
Contact them.
chair?
What? Did you put it up to let me through?
Some of mine study up.
Sit you down.
Andrew.
Are we ready to start?
Yeah, I did.
You know,
Yes,
you
we're
know
just-
those Mangus boys.
Alright.
Before I forget about it,
We're not ready to start yet.
and if you want more, I made a couple more if anybody wants them, but I'm gonna hand them out to everybody. Give one of them to Ron, and if you ever get to see Dan Harpster, because he was here before too about the bridge, so.
Okay.
Ready?
Sure.
Alright. Did we do 14 and 15? Because they're not checked. But I assume if we went all the way to 18, we probably did 14 and 15.
I don't know, we skipped a couple. No, we didn't. On the front, there's an extra thing there.
I don't have any checks on mine, so.
Oh, it's your old one.
Don't you?
He wasn't here.
Alright, that was this one.
Yes, you do, there's checks in front of their numbers.
Oh, okay. No, this is one I had right here. See that? Says Andy and there's no checks on it.
Oh,
I got my glasses on this one.
I'm not nuts, I'm just very tired.
Alright.
This was mine then. Must be. This one?
Just to let you know, I don't know if I put it on this or not, it might have happened after I wrote this. Walt came up from doing the park today. He had a handful of gun shells. Good ones. Big ones, like a 9mm. So he called the state police and they come up for him. They were scattered at the one end of the basketball court. The only neighbor he asked was the guy right next to him there, next to the park in that greenhouse. He said he hadn't seen anybody in.
I can't
So the
imagine
state
how
police
Cooper
came up.
couldn't hear that.
All the auditors were here, they didn't know he was coming. I said, see, I told you guys you're working too hard. But anyhow, he took them and he said, I said, they aren't maybe by chance from the robbery, are they? He said, no. I think that was a handgun. Whatever. Just wanted you to know in case anybody says anything.
And those people, those guys are probably long gone.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not too far away.
Don't you think so?
No, just off the Tomorrow's Hope.
Huh?
Just at Tomorrow's Hope.
Shaking. I thought they were long gone. I was hoping.
What?
I heard them.
Not too many black guys in Coldport.
Hey. Right there, he's filming it, and he'll show it. So,
Anyway.
Too many visitors come.
careful what you say.
This way.
Too many well, Martinez, you know, city. Okay.
I'm not gonna do this tonight because I couldn't
talk-
find my thing.
Hmm?
I'm not gonna do this because I couldn't find my thing in the book.
Oh, well, I don't care, they're yours, so. Where are we down to?
I don't,
The back, huh?
I don't know.
I
I think
put
that's a
the-
check.
I,
Did that.
oh,
Well, what was that all about? Dogs, turkeys, etc.?
Just what we were just saying here.
well, there's a lot of them running around, there's been dogs pooping on the sidewalk downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have dogs up here that are bothering people on their properties. They're going on their properties and disturbing their dogs that are leashed up,
Okay.
their own dogs that are leashed up. And some of those dogs, get excited and, very easily could hurt themselves when they see other dogs.
Now,
going
those
around.
animal control, are they close or are they like all the way down in Clearfield?
She's from, yeah, just that way.
She's from Grampian, isn't she?
I don't know where she's from.
I don't
I have
either.
the cell phone number that I have.
Yeah, and I forgot her number. That's what I was looking for.
Are you gonna call her?
Yeah.
Okay, get her number for you. Sure, I'll have it from there. This was just kind of handy for information, okay? I want everybody to know what's going on, not to come in new and not understand things. That pavilion, if you wanna wait, we see if we can get some grant money, we can do that. If not, could you have it really roped off big time so nobody goes in there?
What's going on with the pavilion? Falling
That
down?
third one, that real old
Yeah,
one,
the-
yeah,
It's bad.
you don't really want anybody in there anymore.
It's real bad.
Um,
Well, do we have to tell Walt that?
Hmm?
Do we have to tell Walt that, to rope it off?
yeah, I would imagine he has that tape.
I'm gonna say if you just tape it off until we decide if we can get money or something to get it pulled down, just so people can't get in there.
And there was, first rental was on Sunday. And the water wasn't on. Water did something to it, and they didn't fix it right, so he couldn't get the water on, but he did call them. Should I charge less for the pavilion since they couldn't get water?
I would if they're paying, yeah, for the water, if there's no water there until
Part
it's,
of it, yeah,
At this town?
just cut some off.
What was number 14, extra help for Walt? Somebody wants to volunteer, do they have to sign a waiver?
Yeah.
They do, we have them
Doesn't
ready
sure.
here.
Yeah, we have them.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one on my thing right now. I can give the Jack
What
Lang.
number was that?
Which
He
one?
was talking about
Number
14.
14.
Remember, we said there was help for Walt, and then we remember now you and I figured out why.
When we were going over the minutes. And I had even forgot about it. Sean, I don't know if you remember.
Well, I talked to him earlier, and he said about getting some prisoners help, but
Yeah.
whenever local people wanna help, like just patching roads or stuff like that.
He
We
wants
have-
you to help
Oh,
with
yeah,
that.
he wants you to help with
Right,
that.
well, I talked to him about it, I went over and looked at that pile of patch they got over there, and it's junk.
Okay.
So we should really think about maybe getting a pallet of patch, and also, I don't know how we do this yet, but PennDOT has those grindings from the roads
I
called
think
millings.
that's what that is that we have, isn't it?
No, that's regular patch over there.
Okay.
Oh,
You
but
need that.
they used that past summer in a couple of roads, didn't they, Sean? What he's
Yeah, I
talking about.
But what we need to do is, them deeper ones, you have to put like millings in first, tamp them,
Mhm.
and only put a skim of that patch, cause
The better
when it
stuff on
gets
that.
hot, all it does is come right back out, if it's too thick, so that's, I talked with Walt about it, but we'll have to,
You want that on in for the
Figure
next
out.
voting meeting?
yeah, we should probably price a whole pallet of, patch, because if we don't get on these roads, they're not gonna get any better.
That's right.
So at least we can stop them from getting any worse.
Now, that was when I'm sorry, go ahead.
Unless, since we're a new council, I don't think we're gonna get any paving done for a while. You
We
know,
have that's what I told him, you have $3,000 a year coming in, the liquid fuels, and that goes by the road length. We have that ARPA money, there's still like 16,000 some left there, and there's another 25, they split it in two, we got 50 something. And that's that American Rescue Plan. And then down the road, I think by around August, we're supposed to get the infrastructure money.
Yeah, we need to figure out what money we can use to get patch, and then we'll start from there and just.
Well, we
keep
can
on
use
going.
liquid fuels to patch, you don't even need to take that out of general fund. Unless sometimes what we were doing, if it isn't a lot out of general fund, we'd use it and save it for the roads. Correct me if I'm not saying this right.
And I'll even volunteer my time to go pricing this stuff, so we get a good deal on it.
Okay.
He would have the numbers to call.
Right,
Well,
Yeah, I know.
Paul has the numbers.
okay, good.
Um,
We'll start that as quick as we can, because I see how they're falling apart.
Mhm. It was good, I didn't notice it about the holes out here being filled in. He just do that? I missed that.
Yeah, I'd asked him to do it before that open house, we didn't get it done, but he did get it done now.
Yeah, I noticed there's those.
Use that stuff that's down there in front of the
Okay,
Taj
at
Mahal.
least it's filled in.
And the street sweeper will be coming, and Rick told you they had a part broken they had to get on, and then they're gonna do the Carrier Township in about a week and a half, and then they're gonna come in and do us. And they're supposed to let him know ahead of time, so he can go around and get people to get their cars off the street. And that's what the state's supposed to do when they do 53, but they didn't call him again this year. So that's why they replaced us.
But they do the side streets for us. We're paying for it, but we get the side streets swept.
Yeah, last year was the first year, but it was really nice to have it done, and we just took it out
It
of
was real
the,
nice, and didn't have to sweep the road.
that's our job, besides the prisoners. do that.
Oh, dear God, ask me.
And Friday, a man from the prison is coming, they didn't let the prisoners go out, for a while because of COVID, I guess. But, I forget what he said he's gonna have them do. He's coming for an on-site visit, the guy. And he did tell me, I don't remember, I'm sorry. I guess they'll talk about him on Friday. He's had, some years they've cleaned out the drains, some years they've swept, some, they just do all kinds of things.
Yeah, he was talking about various things he wanted them to do this year.
Oh, I know.
Depending
all that.
on how long we would have them.
Yeah. You can put in for them more than once, depending on how many people communities ask for them. And I mentioned about maybe this is the third year for that sealer to sit in these cans, the sealer for on the brick and the sidewalks. There's big cans of it and the brooms and everything we bought, Streetscape bought for people to use, and they only got, I think it was Calvin Nudd, Calvin Walt,
Yeah.
Mike
Mike.
Delphos, my son Mike, I think, got some of, a block here and there, but I don't remember which ones. So that really needs up, and you can't do it if it's too hot, and you can't do it if it's too cold. So maybe he could have them do that. Last summer, and I forget when it was, but we found the minutes, we were checking out the minutes, and, there was a motion made, and it passed to have Walt get help as needed, like if he knew something was coming up, he needed help, But then Mike Delphos came and he was helping. But then when Mike left, and it kind of went into the winter, there was less to do, and then hired Joe Wake to do the furnace. But he really needs help, this is not a one-man job.
No, it's not.
So, because if he's down there at the park, he can't attend to this.
Right.
And there's a lot, if they call him for help, it's just not good, especially at 20 hours a week. But he doesn't want extra hours, so. Well, I asked her, and I didn't know that because that motion was made and passed by the past council, does it still have to be done now by this council?
I'm sure there's a way we can vote it out.
That's
I was thinking it was already, if it was already passed, I mean, I don't know.
It was passed by the last council, is what I'm saying. But this is a new council now,
So we'll probably have to vote on it.
so you should, make up your own
Just
story.
want to bring it up at the next
Yes,
meeting.
absolutely.
Now, that's nice, that was not fun.
It's not anybody needs every day, but like the 2 days it took him to finish mowing because the mower broke down. Oh, mower broke down, that was 90. He got the part from up here in Beaver Valley, what's his name?
I can't think of his name. Who does the alternator?
We know.
We all
Yeah,
know
George.
George, yeah. He called Sugarts where they had gotten the mower originally. They wanted $199 for the part. He charged $90 for it. So you know what they were making on
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
$101.
Jeez.
No, more than $101, what's the matter?
So we'll put it on.
Next subject.
Does she have a paper?
No,
Oh, he's the one at Mandy's.
No, here's the other one. Of course, I thought I could make it. Over here.
Grants. Ready to, it's not checked.
18. Okay, we're down to 18. Oh, I told you about the water bills. We get 4 different water bills. And it's automatically taken out for the checking account. But there's a listing of those 4 and approximately how much each one of them is. It's just like the electric bill. We got 5. They're just broken down in different sections of town. There's street lights and up here and then the park. Grants. There are grants all over the place right now.
And what I was under the assumption that we're not qualified for any grants until we get audited and we get our stuff straight.
Right.
So that means we're not
We'll
getting.
go into that,
big
'cause I was here all day.
They're here all day today.
I went home for supper and everything, right?
The auditor was here all day.
Hopefully we can get that taken care of.
Yeah. Right.
Because
If
I'd
they
say
ever-
that grants are the keys for our money for this town.
I know. But the whole thing is, you need somebody to do them, there's research and stuff to be filled out, but Lisa Cavalli's the grant writer for Clearfield County. And she will help. I'm going to, beginning of June, I think the 1st of June, so she called me that I'd gotten a letter. It's, CDBG money County Development, something, I don't know, it's an acronym and I'm too tired to remember right now. But she said, come on up because some of it can be used for blighted buildings. So I told her I'd be up, if anybody wants to go along, welcome to go.
When's that?
I think it's June 1st, it's in the evening, it's like 6 o'clock.
Oh.
You go along,
Don't think I have anything June first.
you know that far ahead.
Become clear.
Oh, and I don't think I gave you one, but, yeah, here it is, I'll pass them around. They're, the lot by McNaldy's now is going up for sale. And it's a percentage of the market value, but I don't remember what percentage, but there's what they're asking for. It's a bid process.
How much is the price?
Where is it?
Oh,
That market value first.
I don't think the printer printed two of them.
$8,265. That seems like an awful lot.
Thank you.
A lot in Colport, but if that's what you say it's worth, I guess that's.
Oh, yeah, Main Street.
Piece of
Yeah,
land.
the standard
Main
wall.
Street.
So you might have to tear your house down, you'll know what the lot's worth.
Yeah, hard things like that. Okay.
As I said, I want you to know all this stuff.
If it's not the bid.
The senior center, when you guys were down last week, she talked to you about the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think you'd like to do about that?
What about the door? I wasn't with you.
Well, don't tell you.
What about the door?
It's, the whole bottom of it's completely rusted.
The back door, the
Yeah.
big back
Their
door.
door, they,
Off the ramp, yeah.
Would the door and the ramp go together, do you think, or?
Well, the ramp is not, I can tell you from many years ago,
Well,
when
it's
this
not.
building was inspected, the ramp is not wide enough for ADA compliance.
So that's what I mean, if you're gonna think about a door, you gotta think about the
Real.
ramp too.
In fact, there was a time when there wasn't even that. The railing's there, but it only went to the top where that little landing is, and there was nothing there. And one of the volunteers from the library fell off of it. So the Walt put the piping on it.
It'd be nice to get it up to par, but the only problem is that's all concrete and has to be broke down. And the best bet is, instead of coming out so damn far, should just put like a porch kind of thing and just do a ramp like off to the side. It'll be a lot smaller and stuff, a bit wider. That would be up to par,
Alongside the
but
building.
That's what I said out here.
that would be up to par out of
Be a
that
ramp
whole
on the
big
side of
long
the
thing
building
that comes
instead of
clear
right
out
here.
by the parking lot.
The doorway itself.
But you're
isn't
looking
wide
at
enough.
probably,
I mean, it's barely wide enough, the doorway itself.
I don't know, somebody to take all that concrete down, that's a bigger job right there itself.
Would that be able to be broken up with the backhoe?
Possibility,
You might be able
it's
to pull it out.
it's been there long enough that it might just crumple and then just get rid of it.
Does anybody know, does the borough have a concrete zone, a gas operated concrete zone?
I don't
Make a
think-
couple
no,
of cuts?
I don't think we do.
No.
Wait a minute.
What?
I remember when Joe Lorella was here, he and, who was the younger man from Blandberg who worked here, the tall guy?
Don't tell me he bought one.
I don't know whose it was, I don't think it was Joe's, but the two of them were down,
They probably rented it, maybe even rent them.
but I stopped the car because neither one of them had safety glasses on. They just laughed at me when I told them, don't get blinded. You want me to ask, Lisa, if any of that CDBG money can be used for that?
Probably.
Wouldn't hurt to ask.
You have to get it up to codes for the handicap, I mean, that could cause a
Yeah,
lot of
especially since
problems
they're
there.
down there, nobody bothers with it before.
Would the ARPA funds be used for that?
I can check on that. It'd be nice if we didn't have to take it out of the general fund. Okay. We'll get that checked on.
You make a list of them, like, I'll take a look at it. You know, a lot of time that old concrete, if there was rebar holding it down, it's already rusted off.
Yeah,
You almost pull it out whole, you know, but you gotta look at it. I didn't, since I missed the meeting last time.
We didn't discuss it, while they were down there.
I missed the meeting, but you didn't miss me, so.
and usually the old concrete doesn't fall apart as well as the new concrete does.
Yeah, I'd like to look it over one
Because the
time.
old concrete was better
Yeah.
than the new concrete.
What are we gonna do, your position?
Yeah, you don't need to talk about that now, cause you have to talk with it when I'm not around about it. But to first say it, just in case, because it's all over in the papers that I have in Harrisburg and stuff. I'm not the alleged secretary, I am the secretary treasurer. I was appointed by the last council, and the appointment stays until you decide to unappoint me. But, it's time, as far as I'm concerned, to get some pay. I was up here at 10 after 9 today.
Well, aren't you resigning?
I didn't resign, we motioned to advertise. And I promised them
Is
I
that
would.
done?
Pardon?
Is the advertising?
No, I just got Waltz in. Waltz is in first.
Okay.
But, I promised I wouldn't leave until you have somebody here, and
Even after we got somebody should stay a while, for a
Okay.
while.
I see,
Right.
you can help get things started.
because I seriously, and you don't hear me complain about this, but I was up here at 10 after 9, and I didn't leave till about 6.
Well, I just thought you had made your mind up to leave and was advertising and we was.
Yeah, I just didn't get mine
heading for
written
the
yet.
Secretary.
His is in first.
But
He's
even-
gotta retire. He's got to.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with
You
you.
definitely need to find a secretary that can use computers and what is that,
Right.
all that other stuff.
Well, with the auditors today, the biggest thing is the QuickBooks.
Yeah, I don't know
And,
nothing about it, but I guess that's
well, I've
one
seen
of
the sheets and stuff.
requirements.
You know what a spreadsheet is, where it's sitting in the middle? This is just, it's different. And the auditors were telling me today how easy it is. And I said, okay, you guys are getting paid big bucks on it, but it's easy, that's nothing. But, they took the years, all 3 years, well, 19, 20, and they took 21 along also. They know the thing about, that we're red flagged right now.
Mhm.
They looked through, they stayed all day and went through, and they have to summarize, which they didn't expect to do. The $2,995 was done, they thought it was on QuickBooks. So they had to take it month by month, the two of them, and start breaking it down and make the sheets out of them. So I said before he left, because I'm taking him back to do them, I said, you gotta let me know, because I'm gonna have to ask for more money, give me some kind of figure, because we have to have it done. And, he said probably around another 1,000. So that would be, well, the other ones were 4,000 and 5,000, right? Before that?
That's pretty good.
Well, no, it's good, but it's just something that has to be done.
Yes.
And they'll do the DCED report with it too, so. I would say 2,995, so it'd be 3,995, be 4,000. But the fella he brought with him is the younger one that just joined. He said if you'd have to pay me, he said it'd be more, but he said once we finish getting this straightened out, he said he's gonna give it to him. So, in the future, if it's done on QuickBooks, it is going to be less. I guess.
That's good. But somebody has to get it straightened out for us.
And he was on the computer too, and we were looking for some stuff. And he said also about, just like you and John and Paul, you gotta get that computer straightened out. You need somebody to come in and work on it and get things in order on it. So that when you get in on it and things, they're there, you know where they're at. And
How soon do you think we can get something like that done? I said that before about that. The sooner we get it fixed, the better we're gonna be.
well, You could set it up when somebody new comes and the QuickBooks stuff on it. Some of the QuickBooks is on it, because Noelle is using it for, the, yeah, I can't say the word. Payroll.
And there's places in Altoona you can hire to clean out what's bad and what's, you know what I mean? Like, what is it called, the geek, or what is that,
Geeks
what's those computer people?
Geeks one.
Yeah.
Well, you
I mean,
have
there's
to,
one of them like that, so they would be willing to come up, or we take it down.
just so they know what needs, you know, the
I know,
municipal things
Well,
that need
that's,
to stay on.
that's exactly right, but I probably, I mean, it would be nice to get it done now, but I think we should wait until we get somebody hired and get the QuickBooks and get it all done at once, so we don't have to keep going back, or
Okay.
go back again to do it, is my opinion anyways.
No, you guys are more acquainted with it,
I mean,
computer than I.
yeah,
It just needs organized. There's folders that don't have anything in them.
Mhm.
If you have like, if you put like a folder for audits, everything about audits should be in that folder. That way you know exactly where you need to go and look for it.
so somebody could sit down with somebody to do that also, you know?
Well, Pat, when she worked here, there's a program where, older people are paid for so many hours a week. They've helped the library, and she was here for a little while. And, she showed me how to put that in, but she only showed me once, I can't remember it after once. But then she did some of them, they're on there. And there's some on there that I don't think are even necessary to be on there, they're years old, many years old. And then when Terry Kunkel was here,
Excuse me. Can we move on? We're on that same subject too long, it's already 8 o'clock.
I can't see the phone, or
Yeah.
I can't see the
Well-
clock, somebody moved the room around.
Yeah, we got some more stuff to get into.
But anyhow, Terry Kunkel put that municipal statistics stuff on.
Tax collector?
Let's do that last.
Okay. Refrigerator.
Yeah, refrigerator, these are quickies. Refrigerator. I'm finding them from 139 to 179.
Oh, small.
Yeah, there's one for 49, but
But how small is small? That's my question. It's like, obviously, is that,
1.3 or something.
okay.
The one even has a little freezer in it, but anyhow, I'll keep looking, see. The guys wanted to put their drinks in the day, but we don't have one, so we took it down to the senior center.
I got a question, why are we skipping the tax collector? Aren't we going down in order?
Because it's gonna be a lot older, or a lot longer, sorry.
Okay.
And then we did the new door thing.
Did you get my letter to be on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
We at 23 now, since we talked about the new door at the senior center.
Yeah. We can talk about that expense thing another time, I know. It was 6 days, that's $89.84 to advertise Walt's position in the progress. And I cut it down till it was not even,
You have to have something.
not even in sentence form. And didn't put anything near
I
what
think
we
they
had,
don't have letters anymore, don't
what we
they?
had added there.
Yeah, they could go by.
Letters, words or something, they charge.
Or something.
What's this about Sean, Facebook? Do we pay for
I'll
that?
post, if I can get a picture of it, I'll post it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Or if I
it's
can,
in-
I'll type it on Facebook.
Yeah, that's why I put that there. It was, in the paper tonight, and I was gonna bring the paper and I forgot. Here's the LTAP thing, came through about the bridge, and that's, I put everything on there for you. And he explains it on there.
I still got a question about that 6 days, and did anybody reply on the advertising for
Tonight's the first time it was in.
tonight?
She suggested not breaking up Lagon like we had talked about. It was cheaper to run it consecutively,
That's fine,
instead of two.
that's fine. As long as it's more than once, because not everybody gets paper that day or something, it might be
If you don't wanna talk about that tonight, you wanna, that's up to you, I mean, we can't get it done tomorrow anyhow, but it's up to you.
This is what he did different times, well, this is what, on your last page, this is what you're saying?
That's what we came up with, remember we were talking about that last week,
Oh,
trying to put
okay.
it together, but I just took pieces out of that and put in, and just said if they wanted more information, they could call.
Oh, okay, now I see it.
And I think, did you people say you wanted to wait and see what we got in before we decided on price, on South? On pay?
For the maintenance position?
Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted to do one person, two people, how much, or whatever. You have to think about that.
Yes, I mean,
I think that's better if you wait to see who replies,
Mhm.
or how many reply, or if you get a reply.
One of the things, I didn't think I wrote that down there, but I remember somebody saying, you know, to start at least at 10 or something, and every 30 days, or we talk about it.
yeah, well, and if you get somebody that knows what they're doing, they don't need train that much, you can pay them more, but if you get somebody that you're gonna have to babysit them everything they do, I mean, you can't pay someone like that $30 an hour to, like, I mean, not that we could pay someone $30 an hour to do
Well, if you
anything.
can pay 20, maybe Walt will stay, I don't know. Maybe I'll make him stay. But like I said, it was.
We're gonna have to wait and see what we get, we might not get anybody, and then
That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, just go by their experience. If they have a little concrete experience, a little tool experience. and
yeah, I mean, that's what you're gonna have to see, I mean,
Yeah.
if you get somebody who don't know how to do anything, you can't pay them.
Well, I put in about the license, you know, and so I didn't put anything in about the wage and the hours and things, that what, but that they have to do some lifting, they have to do some plowing and they'll have to be able to run the loader, but somebody can be taught.
Yeah,
I
I
guess,
mean-
so.
I took a look at that loader should be red tagged, but it's all we got.
Don't you remember the truck before they got done?
Yeah.
The truck was gotten when I
You're
ran too.
not gonna get somebody that
And
can
it
run
was
a
60,
loader
I
for
believe.
$10 an hour.
It was supposed to
That's
be
just
an
not gonna happen.
80/20, but ended up.
If you know how to run a loader, you're gonna go work construction somewhere
and
and
all about computers
they-
and that maybe.
$40 an
That
hour, it's
website,
just not gonna
the
happen.
Department of General Services,
Yeah.
they can get municipalities free or really covering equipment.
You just Google it.
There's a few basic things that need to be,
Yeah, I mean,
keep things going, especially with the road and that.
Mowing the
and,
grass, keeping upkeep,
Instead of renting, if we can get them cheap from a government
besides
agency,
plowing,
then we
you
might
know,
as
or
well
stuff
do it.
like that, but they need a driver's license, of course. And stuff like
And
that.
Andy, there's information there about, it's just information about the port,
Porta potties.
I'm talking, sorry.
I've been up since 2:30 this morning.
What do you call them, pooper parties?
Cooper party.
Simply, pooper parties.
And I have sheets, and I didn't get them run out, but it's the sheets that give you the comparison of what the ordinances are law,
Mhm.
the resolutions aren't law, but it breaks it down and tells you just right in a row what you need one for and what you need the other one for. Because a lot of people, we're all getting mixed up on that. And I had mentioned about the machine tax, and I think something like that.
And what that machine tax, is that for like the gambling machines or something like that? That's a good idea.
They had done away with it. I came across a thing where they had done, the council
there's
had
a
done
pile
away
of
with it.
machines in town, I mean, there's,
Yeah, and people sitting in there spending lots and.
Just give me one.
But you guys figured there was like 15 in town, in the borough?
yeah, there's at least 2 or 3 in each of the bars.
Rudy's got
Rudy?
6.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And then-
He has a couple, Minimart has a couple.
Yeah, Martin's
They are.
couple, yeah.
I see the amount of people that are there and how long and that, and there's a lot of money going.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely agree.
So
on
it's probably
bringing
just
that
10
back.
to-
But they're making a ton of money off of them, I mean, they have to be.
It was when we were going over,
I don't think that's money.
I don't know if it was when we went over the ordinance book or something, it was then, it was, you know,
I don't gamble with any of my money.
what they had,
I
but,
don't buy one.
but hey, it's time to bring that baby back.
Before it doesn't spend $5
Since I wasn't here last time, do we have a solicitor, or are they
Yeah,
still?
they gotta spend money on the hard.
Not yet.
No, we haven't advertised for it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm really
No.
been busy.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say anything. No, we didn't advertise for it yet.
I started the list, but I didn't.
Not once, but
So where are we at now? Now we're back to tax collector?
Gonna do that now?
Is that the last one? 'Cause you said 23, can
Do you have
we
any,
discuss another time, correct?
you have anything you wanna bring up or anything? Something I didn't do or want to do?
I said about cell phone, get a cell phone for the borough next, or,
So you have to vote on that, right?
yeah,
Yes.
something cheap, a track phone. All we basically need is the number. Because some of the websites online, whenever you go to log in, they want you to multi-factor authenticate who you are, and they want a cell phone number to send a text to, or to send a link to, and
Sean's personal phone's not gonna cut it.
yeah, I'd rather have a borough phone here that's plugged in, that, I mean, we only have to get like $10 a month on it for minutes, that's it. Just to get a text saying that you can put the code in and you are who you are. That way it stays here, it's plugged in, whoever tries to get in to do a report or to file something with the state or county, they can just put it in and have it
It won't
here.
ring in your phone at work.
Yeah, we won't use the number for anything else but getting.
They had to have a number, so he had, whatever they were working on.
It wouldn't take the landline, it said the borough landline was not a actual landline, it was a fake landline. I don't know why, everything
better call
here
the
is
phone
10 times
company
more
and charge
difficult
us
than it
too
has to
much.
be.
We pay over $200 a month for that.
I tried putting
Oh,
Paul's
I
cell
know.
phone in, it wouldn't take it. Mine,
But anytime that
Open
Paul
arms,
was
it's
here,
mine
we
right
would
in.
have to
And
call
I
and
couldn't
say,
get
get
mine back up.
online, get the code, cause Sean's phone's
I like when
blowing
it
up.
says, you have 15 seconds, if you don't fill that out in 15 seconds, the password disappears. Oh, crud. Well, I'm gonna start backwards here a little bit. This one. You saw the letter that I had sent, Mr. Spade, but I put it on the top because in that starts a sequence, okay? There's enough there.
if I'm not gonna get around, I'll give mine up.
And I'll just kind of work through the sequence with you. And I also have, the next packet will be the sequence from Clearfield.
Mr. President,
Yes.
that letter was never approved by any council.
It's because there was no council.
That's right, so
It
it's
was
really
there,
bogus
There's
letter.
nothing wrong with it. I ran it by her lawyer, and it's fine. Actually, I had also called up at the school to see how, what they accept. And Terry said absolutely also accept our original receipts. And that's the same, you'll see later when we go into the Clearfield, that that's all they want. Like I said, and reading there, I never refused to pay it. I would pay it immediately when I get the proper receipt for it. We're audited. You have to have receipts for everything. Even the toilet, no, I'm not gonna.
Now, is this something the solicitor can look at and say, this is legitimate, you need to pay them, or how are we gonna solve this?
The only thing to solve is, I need receipts. not an invoice from Vision Press. When he gets postage stamps, give me the receipt from the post office and I will immediately write out a check.
Okay.
I did that a few days ago, and I never received a check, invoice with the postal. An affidavit has strength, and that's what the county requested, was an affidavit. They never said anything about receipts. And if an affidavit, I've been a notary for 30 years, and that you have the burden of proof to prove that my affidavit is incorrect.
I never said it was.
And I'm speaking at this time, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
There were 577 bills. If I had to buy stamps to send 577 bills, how could I do it without purchasing the stamps? They all went out to all the people in the community. So you figure it out, that's like $300 and some dollars. I'm only asking for $191, which you only have to pay half of $191. I was really not prepared. I have more documentation that I could present. I didn't realize that this would be an issue tonight. I've asked to be on the agenda. So I think that it's your burden of proof to prove that my affidavit is wrong. And that was duly done. The Pathonetary's office certified what my statement was. There were 577 bills mailed, and I'm only asking for $191. Do the addition, logic. How did I send 577 bills for $191? And that, I don't think it's unreasonable. If you don't want to amicably take care of this, I have the lawful right to go to the magistrate, which I
Could you more explain in the packet then, please?
Let him finish, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
yeah. So that was, I presented lawfully an affidavit to both places, and it's still in mediation right now with the county. The county sent the attorney, and we've been debating back and forth. But when you can see, Mr. President, you can see the affidavit there. It was duly done by the Pathonetary's office, and I'm only asking for $191, which you only have to pay $95.50, I believe it is. And the county paid $80 or $58, and they're denying me $37.50, and we're still mitigating that situation with the county. And
Speak to that, please.
As soon as he's done.
Yeah, but I want to throw something in here,
Well, don't
Andy.
interrupt him, let him finish, and then he won't interrupt you, I guarantee you.
Okay. I promise.
so and if we're talking about all the other invoices, the former council, which I disagree with, if I may express my opinion, you have the lawful right to retain the alleged secretary, not the former council. You are the new council. You have the power. You can dismiss her tonight. She serves at your pleasure because you are the councilors. She's not the councilor. You're the councilor. You've got the legal power. 1001 of the Borough Code says that you have the power, all 5 of you.
Can't do it tonight, so you want to.
And you have the right to do whatever you feel is in the best interest of this community. I was told last council that there was going to be an audit of the books because there was missing money. There's like $2,200 missing. And I presented this in a letter to the solicitor, which is under review right now. And there was a misappropriation. Yes,
Interrupt you.
Counselor.
Can you just stay on that subject about you getting paid?
Yes. Well, I can't do anything. You have the lawful right to do it. If you're not going to, I'd like to know, because then I'll go to litigation. And that's all, and I can do that.
I have a question. Hopewell Borough Council has to approve any reimbursements, correct?
No, that's the tax collector, this is what they get, and I have charts with this too, I didn't put one in tonight. This affidavit is not a receipt.
We have to.
I don't know.
There was
what
never-
You're
it is.
interrupting us now, just wait, please. Okay, so for the school, they get the actual receipts, is that
Yes.
correct?
That's what he told me,
Okay, so why
Your
are we
business
not
manager.
getting actual receipts instead of an invoice?
and you will see
And
later.
I know Mary Glass had the same thing.
Mhm.
We have to have those receipts, the original receipts, in case we get audited. If the school can get the original receipts, we should be able to get the original receipts to pay.
And you will see later in the packet that Clearfield has had a problem with this. And tax collectors all over need to hand in original receipts. And I also talked to other, it's just if you do your income tax or something, or you take something back, you need a receipt. The same with the key. We pay for the key to the box. I need a receipt to pay for that. I
That's like
can't
me-
take somebody's word that
I
was
totally
done.
agree with you, but that's like me going to Walmart, buying something, and I have to exchange it. I'm gonna give them an invoice. They're not gonna take it. They need original receipts, or you don't get your money back, or you don't get a gift card off of it, or whatever. We need the originals. If everybody else is getting original receipts, I believe that we need the original receipts as well.
And they originally, early on, he was notarizing his own. Now he has Brian Spencer doing it, so if you're willing to accept that, that's fine with me. There's more, so that's what I wanted to start you out with, the letter.
I would really like a solicitor to look at that and just say either yes or no. That's just a simple way to do it. Somebody that actually knows. I don't know
That actually knows what? What
for
is it?
sure if that would be acceptable or not.
What, an affidavit?
Yeah.
Mr. President, last year the school
Clearfield
just took an
told me to
invoice
deny it.
and paid me. They didn't have receipts.
At the tax office. And when you read the letter from their solicitor, you're going to see where these problems lie.
Okay. We have a letter from their solicitor.
It's in here. What?
No, I just wondered where it was at.
It's- Yeah, then this one is, the next one, after I sent this, then Mr. Spade sent the reports and checks. Now what has happened is,
We need that.
what?
Mr. President, I can bring you a ton of receipts, but how do you know that those receipts are for those stamps? I can bring you a lot of receipts. You want receipts? I'll bring you a ton of receipts. I'll bring you about $500 worth of receipts if you want. But I only requested $191. And half of that was $95.50. And the county said to me, bring the bills down, we'll send them. And I told them that's what I'm going to do the next time. You can send it. And now the solicitor's saying, well, you're in defiant of your statutory job. And it's only $95.50. How did I send 577 bills with 300 stamps? I mean, basically, that's what that is.
We're not getting anywhere, and we're not gonna resolve this, because we don't really know the legalities of it. I don't.
So every single thing now I have to go to a, we don't even have a solicitor.
That's what I mean. I'd like to
Yeah.
get it right out of the mouth of a
Okay.
solicitor, then we know for sure.
Well, we'll find out. There's a solicitor's page in here.
Okay.
Okay. So the next thing that comes, by the 10th of the month, this office, not someplace else, this office needs the report from the previous month to come here by the 10th with the report from the computer and the checks, which was being done. Then after I sent this, I don't know why, I got this. Then he went down to the bank and he deposited it in his account, which he's not allowed to do, and transferred it over to us.
Yes,
Okay.
I can do that.
You know,
In fact, the
you know,
council,
Jerry,
the
I'm not a stupid ass.
the council from last told me to do that, not to use checks.
Then they didn't know.
And I served,
Council was running the meeting here, not the people.
I served,
Sorry, please.
excuse, okay.
You know, I do know how to use a computer, maybe not as best as I
Without
should.
your permission.
Mr. President,
You're losing control here.
Mr. President,
I can't find it.
Mr. President, I served those to
I need
the,
to talk, or I'm not
to
gonna sense some happiness.
Mr. Strong. Mr. Strong, and on the 3rd of the month, I have until the 10th, I sent them to Mr. Strong on the 3rd.
Okay.
I have the law books here.
Okay.
I copied them off. His own association told me how to copy them off.
Okay.
And the girl from the tax office did. They're in here. You can take them home and read them. I don't do this stupidly. Now, I'm to have the report here in this office by the 10th with the checks. Then I deposit them. That is the way it goes. Say whatever you want. That's the way I've read it, and that's the way Clearfield told me.
Mr. President, I did a transfer in the bank to your account. It was there on the 3rd.
But you put it in your account first, and you're not allowed to do that.
The money, all the tax money goes into my account. All the money goes into my account, and then I give a report at the end of the month. This council has not stipulated when they want their money, but I do it the 3rd day of the month, and then I did an automatic transfer, which Mr. Zubich wanted me to do that last year. This council has not told me what you want. I'm here to serve you. You are the boss. If you want them the 10th, I'll send them the 10th. I sent the counties and yours on the 3rd of the month.
So you're saying in this now that I have to come down to your office to get this material?
No, I sent them to Mr. Strong. If Mr. Strong didn't give it to you,
He does not need your tax report. I do.
well, I sent it to him.
His plan.
I sent it to him.
All right, moving on.
Because he has to know what I did. And he has it all. He should have given it to
The next
you.
page, says, what it says.
This one? Oh, yeah,
At the top, it says May 3rd. You're still in the first packet I gave
that's
you.
why, all right.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I was all sorts of confused for a second.
And I did, at the suggestion of Peg's lawyer,
Okay.
I did send one regular mail and one certified.
Okay.
And I am not the alleged secretary treasurer. Remember when he's, this has all been checked out legally, okay? It's not something that I'm playing a game with.
I've checked, Mr. President, because you, as a council, have not retained her. You have the right to retain her by vote of council, and you have the right to suspend her.
It does not end when the council changes, Jerry.
That's your interpretation.
No,
Not
no,
what,
no,
this
that's-
this council has the right to do what they want to do.
What, tell them what your lawyer said, Peg.
Continues.
Okay,
It continues
That's
until
what he
you're
said.
relieved by us, correct?
correct.
That's the way I,
That's his, that's his
the
opinion.
interpretation of it, okay.
Okay, so that's then what he sent next. And it says, the mayor and the alleged secretary treasurer have denied payment, as confessed in the certified mail. I only have denied, I send him his checks and he cashes them. But
That's misleading, Mr. President.
It's misleading.
Yes, it
If
is.
you don't think I'm the secretary and treasurer, why are you cashing your checks I mailed you?
Is the mayor's signature on the signature card at the bank?
Yes, the two of us are still on.
How
Because-
did it get on there?
Because I refused to sign them myself. Noel was the only one signing them, and that's wrong. So because there was no counsel, again, it was done legally, Peg was put on. So someday we're gonna have to get one of you guys on.
Mr. President, you can reverse anything that she's saying. This council is the power. 10:05 of
Next.
Okay. And, anyhow, there's, the affidavit. And there's his request into the next agenda. And then he tells you what he wants, to talk about there.
Is that this last page looking thing here?
Yes. Okay, the next packet this is all from Clearfield. At this point, I don't know if you're familiar with the name, Heather Bozovich is the commissioner's solicitor. At this point right now, Lisa Conrad told me, and you'll see that the solicitor says in here, that they will no longer converse with Jerry. Everything he does now goes through their solicitor, because it's gotten that bad.
Who's Lisa Conrad?
She's the, tax officer.
She's the assessment officer, Mr. President.
But, then, when you, and this is weird, I know, it's really weird. Took me a while to understand it. When you want to run for tax collector, before you're voted in, you have to take a test. And not in defense of anybody, but in defense of whoever that tax collector is, someone should have told them that. I think it's Clearfield office, but they say it's not their responsibility. I think it is, because you're putting your name on that election thing. But before you're even elected, you have to pass that test to say that you're qualified. And then if you get in during the election, you're good. And after that, then you have to have 2 credits over that 4-year term to show that you're keeping up on things.
Mr. President, I took the test. I have passed a test, and I am certified by DCED.
Okay, that's on the next page then. You'll see in the back of his letter, there's
We
a
don't have that one.
certification.
We don't have that.
Here you go.
Yeah, I don't have more.
You don't have that?
No, not that one. We only have the first packet.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry.
And I was coming to council to ask for funding to go to a class. And I'm probably going to miss it because I won't be able to come before council until next June. And
Classes are online. The Bucarian Township tax collector does hers online.
it's $250.
Really?
Who pays hers? We don't know.
She told me she paid us $30-40 online.
Untrue.
Okay, whatever. Okay, that's his letter to the commissioners. And then on the back is a certificate that he, gave them. And you'll see a series on and off, and I printed everything off for you. And then the third page, you'll see the letter from Heather Bozovich.
The issue of doing an
Can you read
audit,
it, please?
Mr. President,
Hang on one second, I'm almost done. All right.
It's still out right there.
Mr. Spade, what were you gonna say? Okay.
the biggest issue that is before this council is that there is missing monies. I had to put out of my own savings account $1,500 into the tax collector. I did a foolish thing. I was appointed in June of last year, and I didn't request an audit. And the tax collector previous to me did not give me enough money. And I had to, in order to balance at that point, I put $1,500 in. Then I found that there were people that paid taxes and was never recorded. And I let county know that, and the solicitor from county threatened me and said, we're going to do an audit. Well, she never did it. I mean, it's a year later and she's never done. You don't see the letter I just sent. Anyone that threatens you, that shows weakness on themselves. And I said, you promised to do an audit and you didn't do it. And I think this council has a right to do whatever you want in the matter. But I'm still out $1,500 of my own money, and you're not paying me for the stamps, and it just keeps escalating. And I just sent an invoice with a receipt for just one book of stamps because I don't have any stamps for the tax collector. I have my own for Vision Press, but I don't have tax collector money. I mean, you can't take it out of what people give to me. Either you give it to me or I have to take it out of my own money. But there's constant people sending things, and then if they don't send a self-addressed envelope, I don't do anything with it. But there are times that I have to send communication back. That there are people that are sending $100 on a $500 tax, and I have to send it back. How do you do it? Well, I have started, since I can't afford to pay the taxpayer, pay for stamps. And I believe it's your responsibility to pay this for stamps. So I'm saying there's an escalation of, and that letter, she purported that she was going to send it out right away. Well, she didn't. It's been 2 weeks, an invoice with a receipt from the post office. So my pleading to you is that, are you going to assist in this? And then the council from last year said that they were going to give me a room here. I'm utilizing my office, and I have a 9x9 area that's just for the tax collector when people come in. And I didn't think it was unreasonable for $75. If you don't want to pay for that, I need a room here in this building for the tax collector. It is your responsibility to retain, under the statute of retention, retain all the documents that a tax collector has. And I have a lot of documents. So that's my pleading to you. You're the boss. You have to tell me what you want to do. If you don't want me to use my office, I won't use it. But Mr. Zubich said right in the meeting, and you can go up online and see all this. That's why I record, so that you can see it. Go back to June, when I was appointed on the 21st, and you will see that they were going to give me a room. They were going to make room, because they did for the other tax collector. Mary never required, in the 16 years that she did it at her home.
And that's what the other two
And
did.
so it's up to, and then I have supplied a copier and a dedicated computer for the RAC program, which I appreciate that you purchased the RAC program. And that's how I generate any reports. Any reports that you personally want from that, you can ask me at any time.
Fairfield
I get-
County pays 1/3, we pay 1/3, the school pays 1/3. That's shared, so he doesn't have to buy that. But nobody that I have called and made that chart asks for anything from their home. When you take on as tax collector, you realize you're probably gonna have to have a copier or a computer.
We did offer him a room last year, he didn't wanna take that room, and it was down at where the senior center is now. We told him he can have his own hours and stuff, but he didn't wanna take that room, so.
That, I don't recall ever saying that. The offer was made, and I never heard of any room. Exactly.
He did.
It was in, I don't know if that was
The
in the
building,
minutes.
he asked for the building, and we asked down there.
But what was in the minutes is the council that night, which would, when you two would have been here, June or whatever it was, it's in the minutes, that he was told not to put his personal money in.
That was after the fact, though. I had to do
Well, the
it.
meeting, he brought it up, and we strongly suggested that he didn't, and he said, well, I already did.
Thank you.
By that time.
Thank you, Counselor.
We had advised him, but he had already done it before the meeting took place.
And that,
I had responsibility to pay the taxes to the county, and it would have been the county that wouldn't have received the money.
but
I
it
guarantee
wasn't
if the
his
county wouldn't have received the money,
responsibility.
they would have been in audit then.
Yes, they would. Thank you.
It wasn't his responsibility to do that. The council, from what I've read in that book I got, when he found that, even before that, I think, and I haven't talked to other municipalities about that, when you go from one tax collector to another, it should be audited.
Thank you.
Okay? She messed it up, but they did tell him that he shouldn't have put his own money in. The council should have done an audit.
It's meant to protect both the outgoing tax collector and
And
the
the
incoming.
incoming, right. In this case, from what we think would have happened, it wasn't the incoming, it was the outgoing one. So they should have been audited. I don't know how it works now to go back and do it.
That'd been the last council, right? There's not any of us here that can change that.
I think things happen so fast that one person was out, one came in, and before we, like we said, before we even said, don't put your own money in, it would have been audited at that time, and that was probably, a mistake there. This shouldn't have happened, because I wouldn't have put my own money in. No, I'd rather be audited.
Thanks.
Yeah, exactly, so now things got screwed up to where his money's in, but we still don't, and it's already too, I'm
I don't know if
assuming
it
it's
is.
too
I mean, I
late,
don't
but I don't
know
know
who
after
we'd have
a
to
year.
ask if that's
Exactly.
able to be done.
So,
Well, this,
Whenever I would call Clearfield and I talked about them, that when that happened, they said it wasn't their responsibility. So whose responsibility is it to tell a council what has to be done? Whose responsibility is it to tell the tax collector what has to be done? Evidently, nobody's taking responsibility for that.
and being that it's all in a third, we all pay, and that makes even things more.
You know, we split the envelopes, we split the stamps.
We split
It's the
everything.
county, when he does the county taxes, the school taxes, we
That's
split,
all
it's
split.
$333, I think, for the RAC program. And that, we all split that,
And that's how that works.
but, like I said, Clearfield and the school must have receipts also. And they do.
School did not receive receipts last year. They took my invoice. I didn't even have an affidavit. And they paid
Okay.
it.
Whatever, I'm telling you, and you can look into it, I really don't care. I talked to Jeff Westover, and he said, absolutely not. I get the receipts. He said, we get audited too, and we have to have receipts.
Well, I'll bring you a ton of receipts.
Bring them
And you're
to
gonna
me.
have to
If
prove-
they're correct,
you-
I'll pay for it. I told you
Well,
that.
they're from the post office.
Let me ask you a question. When he gets receipts for tax collecting, how soon can he get paid? Immediately, if it's a legitimate receipt?
Of
Or does
course.
it have to be monthly or something?
No, I can give it to him when he needs
Well,
it.
from now on, starting, let's make sure you have the receipts.
You're gonna get a written
That
one,
way you
or
will be
not the
reimbursed.
little,
Not an invoice that you made up from Vision Press.
And then we're still gonna have to
yeah,
deal
it
with
still will
what's
come with an invoice,
from the
but
past here.
And, we can, if he brings them to me what he paid, to rent the box and the key, I'll give him the check for it.
I mean, this letter states that the county reimbursed for the one receipt that they received. That's why they're holding their money, because they have not received the receipts, and they even suggest, or advising, to keep the actual receipts for costs incurred in order for reimbursement to be made. Now, if the county wants it done, I'm sure
In
the
the school,
Coldport Borough needs to have it done that way also.
they never told us that. They gave me a sheet that wanted an affidavit. I filled out the affidavit and submitted it. They altered the affidavit, which is against the law, and that's still an issue.
You think Heather goes?
And then
Talk to Heather Bowes.
there are additional funds. Everything that I do has somebody attributed to the money, so that you see. And I have 3 different ways to prove that. There was a check for $833.13 placed in former tax collector's amount of money. It bounced. For the 30 years that I've done notary work, I turned that over to the state police, but after 10 days. This still has not been, I reported that it appears that you took money, $833.13, that was unattributed. So there was, on your part as a council, and it's not you, but the one before, you took money that was not attributed, and there are taxpayers calling me asking, I'm getting a white card, and I paid my taxes. So there was $2,641.11 that was not attributed, and the school said to divide that money 3 ways. And an $833 check went into Noel's account, and it bounced from Mary Glass. I have the evidence. I've turned it over to the state police. And there's a lot of issues here that you didn't get my letter in response to this solicitor's, Heather's letter that you see here. And I put it all right out in front of her with documentation.
I would like to welcome the 3 new members to this, because can you imagine being a secretary and putting up with this?
A
When
good
we're done,
secretary-
I gotta show you guys something in there.
A good secretary could handle this well.
I think I feel very confident, Jerry, in how I've
I
handled it, and I did not do it on my own. Anyhow, the next page.
Say, what else do we do? It's getting
This
late,
is
and
all
I'm
the stuff
tired.
from Clearfield.
agree.
Or you don't wanna work it out? What time is it?
It's, about 10 till
What's
9.
that? Go ahead and make that comment you were gonna make.
What?
You said we don't wanna work it out. Oh, what?
I said, what time is it?
Oh, I thought you said something more different. I apologize.
No, I said, you don't wanna work it out? I can do,
Remember who's running this? It's the council,
I understand that,
Okay.
Andy.
just so you know.
then you sit and research this crap all day long.
That's not my job, Mary Jo.
Right.
It will be your job. This is what this council is. We could be up there for hours. It's just when you said like 8:30, 9 o'clock, we've been up here earlier than midnight. And I still have work in the morning or go to work.
Yeah.
Never had a solicitor
And this
before.
is just what this is. It's not fun and games, I'll tell you that.
It wasn't
Well,
last
I'd
year.
say we
They
need
never
to get
say that
business
later.
Why-
going here, get solicitors, get audits done, and get stuff
Well, that's what
moving
we're
here.
trying to
It's,
do, and it takes time, I will tell you that. So regardless if you're up here or not, somebody
Okay.
else is
Well,
gonna be doing
You know
it.
what? I had enough for tonight. Are we adjourning this,
Can you go to the next,
or you asked?
This is the last page.
yeah,
One more
next to
page?
the last page where
The
it's
next to
from
last?
Heather Bozovich again.
You're on.
This one?
And it's from the treasurer's office, the commissioners, et cetera, et cetera. Where it says Heather will be writing to Mr. Spade, et cetera, et cetera.
I read that.
Okay.
You-
And she's writing him about what, that he has to go to this.
Doing it right. They're trying to get him to do it right.
Okay.
And then
About
she
the-
told, that, what's her name told me,
We'll just put it down. For now, we have to have receipts. That's how it goes, and we'll have to figure out the,
that's a lot, isn't that common sense?
well, and the rest
Oh,
of
well.
it, like say, when we get a solicitor, I'd like to ask them, is an affidavit legal or not?
It is legal, but it doesn't mean it's a receipt, Andy.
Well, if it's illegal,
He
why
could write
doesn't
it for
get
anything he
refunded for it?
wants to.
Yeah.
Anybody could.
Yeah,
So you can't do that. I have to know how much to pay him that was spent at the places.
Like,
There's,
Envelopes never-
no- on the affidavit, if you look there, there was no envelopes on that. How did I send 577 bills?
Because I gave you the boxes from Mary Black. And that's why I said in my letter,
I
if you
used
didn't use them, give them back, I'll use them.
There isn't any left. They were used in the previous,
Okay, that's what they were for.
In-
I
in
gave them
school.
to you to use.
some of those were used for the school.
'Cause Mary, that was left over
Like-
from what Mary
like
had.
Jerry said, the affidavit, it's our burden of proof to prove that it's wrong.
Yes,
So that's why we need the
Thank you.
receipts to back up the affidavit. That's exactly why. That way we can prove if it's right or it's wrong.
And like I said, I'm not getting now the
Well-
monthly report that's due in here and stuff, and
well, it was sent to Mr. Strong, and I just assumed that he would send you those. He has to have it to prove what I am asking for my commission, and I thank the council for the check, and the mayor's signature was on it. And so I appreciate that. However, there's still outstanding monies, and need to resolve what you're going to do with the office. If not, I'd like an office up here. If you're not going to pay the invoices, I don't think it was outrageous for $75 a month for the equipment, the usage of space and storage and all that. I didn't think that was unreasonable.
Alright, okay. Where we at now?
I'm sorry I wasn't prepared. I have documentation already started on it. Actually, this meeting, I didn't see it anywhere that was advertised for tonight. I saw
it was.
I saw two advertisements on the 16th and the 17th, and it's all it dealt with is it saying that it would not be at 7 o'clock. It would be at 7:30, but it didn't say what day, when. It was really ambiguous when you were going to have it's as you needed on a Wednesday. If I didn't know you had one last week, and I look for these things.
And it says, and that is legal also, that you write, the workshops will be at 7:30 as needed. You don't have to pay then every week to say that they're gonna be held. We did it last year, nobody questioned it either.
Why aren't there going to be committees, Mr. President?
Mary Sue. Do you have those names for those other tax collectors so I could call to see what they Cause I just wanna make sure they don't
It's
charge.
Nyla Henry and Candace Snyder, and I have made a chart of what they get and don't get, and none of them asked for
Okay. I
space in their house.
I
to
thought
rent.
so this last year, I just wanna make sure, cause I mean, just
Yeah, those are the
what was
two.
the names again, please?
Candace,
No.
Candace Snyder, she does Victoria Township,
Okay,
and Nyla, Nila, Henry, does Ravonas, and the one just got a new one up south of here, and I haven't gotten a chance to talk to her, she just was
Okay.
grand.
Thank you so
These tax collectors can write it off, their space in their house. I can't, because of, I already checked with with my accountant, Nittany Financial in Clearfield. You can call her. I give you permission to talk to her. I can't, because I'm a business there. So, if I can't write it off, I'd rather have an office here.
There's no room for an office here.
You have to provide it.
There is nothing in the law that says we have to provide it. There is nothing.
What says council? You know, you're the one that,
Alright. Are we ready to,
I think you people need to have Peg's lawyer down here to talk with you. I don't need to be here. He doesn't need to be there. Talk with him. Any of them who have municipalities, and check this stuff out.
I think that's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check this out too.
do we have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we can get him to come to some of these so we can talk to him, or.
You have to pay him.
You're gonna have to pay him.
But I'd rather know the right than wrong. If we have to pay somebody every time we question, then
I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna say.
Even
Our
if
next
it's
meeting's in
once or
2
twice.
weeks, right?
Huh?
Our next meeting's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we already, the last meeting, we already said about getting letters of intent for solicitors.
That's just it, yeah, I don't know if he would wanna come, because he knows that there has to be letters of intent sent here.
Yeah,
It's
well, we're
still
gonna vote on the
yours,
next
right?
meeting with the ones we get, not on the ones we receive, right?
I haven't received any.
No, I haven't put it out. I believe they asked me.
Yeah, she hasn't put it out yet, so
Oh,
I don't know if we're
okay.
gonna get any within 2 weeks.
If we get them back,
Daniel Stantz was ready to take a position in January. We had contacted, he's willing to do it on a contingency basis. I don't think that you're gonna find an attorney that will do it for $125. And I'll let him know tomorrow,
To have him mail it in.
a letter of intent. You're not gonna get an attorney for $125. Cummings was a solicitor for Colport Borough, and she was $150, I think it was $150 or $155.
But if you know anybody, if you want me to call them, I only know the ones that I know the municipalities have. So if you know anybody, I'm sorry, I'm just a little behind here.
Yeah, we just need to, I mean,
All day
obviously,
sitting
we
with
don't know,
these guys
I mean,
either.
not that we don't know what we're doing, but we're all new to this. At least
Plus,
three of us
that
are.
Jerry talked about, he's a veteran, and I have this thing for veterans. We should really look into him, but all of them, we can get these letters out.
Definitely.
I don't think we'll even get veterans preference.
And then you're gonna have to consider, meeting with them,
Mhm.
interviewing them, and then it'll be your decision as to who you want and what, after all that.
If they have questions back and forth here,
Would I, doesn't my lawyer talk to them?
that's the only thing I can think of, because
I guess I could, they're nice people.
Would it give us an hour?
I mean, that's who you
Right.
have until somebody's hired, so, if you have questions, you wanna know this, or, I don't know how you can question the letter from the commissioner's solicitor. I guess you can
Are you
question
planning
anything.
on having me next Wednesday? No, don't work.
I'm not available next Wednesday,
One
so
that
you'd
day,
have
so
to go.
another day? Or did you put it directly ahead of it Wednesday?
Oh, Wednesday, don't,
I'm gonna say
you
even
just
if
have to
they-
keep paying and paying when you change things. I mean,
But did
if
you
want me to
say,
do-
no, did you say Wednesday? Did you say the day was Wednesday?
No,
No, she
Yeah.
didn't. Okay, so we can
The
change.
No, it was
The
in-
original one. she-
I said as previously advertised. I'll bring them in and show you. As previously advertised, it is not 7 for the meetings, it's 7:30.
But we can have it on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night. That's what he's asking.
I don't know, you'll have to advertise it then, as far as I know,
Yeah.
unless there's some special thing called a conference, if it would be just you guys and the lawyer. There probably is.
Okay.
you have to have an executive session in a meeting to do that with an attorney.
I don't know why you aren't a lawyer and be a solicitor.
Well, I took 2.5 years, and my professor, Duquesne University professor, is the one that recommended
So,
Daniel Stantz.
so it's not gonna be next Wednesday, so
I'm
We
trying
can
to,
go-
where's the
if you want-
calendar?
if you
I
wanna
can't even
keep it-
see.
what's next Wednesday's date? I don't know.
This is
They-
the,
Next Wednesday's the 25th, and then the,
First be our meeting,
First
right?
is
June the
June
first.
first is a Wednesday, cause you said about that workshop thing.
6th. The 6th would be
Or
our first
something,
meeting
right?
in
Yeah,
June.
we can't be here June the first. We're going to
well,
that.
you don't have to have me here.
No,
it's
I'd
going to-
rather, if possible,
What
I'd
you
rather.
need to do is have a closed session, so you don't have this back and forth. So I'll call and ask if he can come and talk to just you people and the mayor. I don't have to be here, you have my documentation. I'm not gonna research it anymore.
Alright, so, yeah, the 20, whatever day, I'm not available.
Okay, so there's no, I'm not sure work on
So you're gonna be available June, you know that far ahead.
I can be, I can make my own schedule.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mary
So I just
Sue,
don't put that I
what
can
time
work
was
that
that
day.
meeting on June first to go to that thing?
6,
6 P.M.
And
and
it's
where's
in-
it at?
Clearfield. It's, the letter's in there. I forget where it's,
And you said you're going, maybe I'll ride with you?
If he's having a meeting, I'm gonna
She'll-
be here. I'll stay here.
President, are we able to?
well, you don't wanna have a meeting without.
Skip that
President
meeting
here.
to do
That's
this,
your lawyer.
to go.
Well, no, that would be
No,
the-
I'm waiting, I'm saying June the first.
We were talking about June the first.
Oh, okay.
June the
Another,
first, but, and like I said, I'll stay here to be with.
So do you wanna go with me?
Yeah.
It's always good when 2
Is
people
that
here.
okay?
Yeah.
Mr. President, we can,
If she
I
sent
can get
the,
more information.
she sent the papers to be filled out, and she said if we need help, she'd help us.
And I'll stay with the here.
All right, we'll do that.
So what, you want
June
Nelson here at 7:30,
Correct.
right?
Same time, just the
Okay.
first.
If you need, I had a couple more of these, if any of those neighbors want these or anything. Do you want them now, or? Okay. I thought since his brother took some really good
You should make a
pictures.
motion to adjourn?
Do we make a motion to adjourn?
I didn't think we had to, because
No.
it's a
It's
workshop.
All right, cool.
It's a workshop.
Workshop, so
Just say,
We don't have to.
you can go home if, unless you brought a pizza.
No.
Okay, June the first then. Okay.
I will get on these. other
Let me know
things
what
you told me.
time you'll leave, Mary Sue, and I'll go with you to that meeting so we can get
You can hang out early, because we'd have to leave around 5.
That's fine. Just let me know the time. And I'll ride along with you.
Thank you.